This podcast may contain paid advertisements, but more on that later. Welcome to the O'Connor Bootstrap podcast, where I discuss the nuts and bolts of business and leadership with a focus on bootstrapping a business from the ground up. This podcast is for all entrepreneurs, bootstrappers, and leaders in all walks of life. My goal is to help you grow both personally and professionally. I'm your host and friendly neighborhood entrepreneur, Isaiah O'Connor. Hello, everyone. I'm back. Sorry, it's been a while, a good month or so. Been rather first sick, been busy. Now I'm here. Forgot to shave. Sorry. So today I'm just going to kind of give a little bit of an update on what's been going on, why I haven't been posting in a while, why I haven't been uploading in a while. For those that follow the audio portion of this podcast, I'm sorry I've really dropped the ball here, but I do hope you can forgive me. Things kind of went crazy. So it started off with I had recorded a podcast, got it all ready to upload, went through, started listening to the podcast, double-checked what I said, realized that I was mistaken in one of the things I said completely wrong, so I had to go re-record and redo the whole thing. And before I could finish that little project, my family came home, the kids ran into the house, and that was it. Fine, I'll do it again the next day. Next day, my throat started to really hurt. I wasn't able to talk very clearly. And my son tested positive for COVID, as did my wife. And my throat started really hurting. I went to work that day, came back home, got worse. Actually, no, everyone was starting to feel sick. I went to work, came back home. Then my wife told me that night she was positive for COVID. She tested. My son got tested. He was positive for COVID. I tested. I was not positive for COVID yet, but it came. A couple days later, I did test positive for COVID, and it wiped me out. For the better part of 2 weeks, I was not filling up to recording or doing much of anything, primarily because every time I get sick, I do have a touch of asthma, and with this little bit of a touch of asthma and I'm sick, it makes it so that I always get a cough that persists for weeks on end. And the cough that I got is still with me, and I might actually cough during this podcast a little bit. So again, sorry. So I'm not 100% back on path, but that's life, you know. Now let's take this into kind of what's going on with business, and I'll try to find some sort of lesson to be learned from this chaos. So yeah, it's been a rough couple of weeks. My main business is finally coming back. The good news is they lifted a lot of the COVID restrictions, and with the lifting of those COVID restrictions, business started getting better. I'm starting to pick up a lot more business. Things are going good, and things are going overall generally much, much better. So that's a good thing. I've been very, very busy. I've finally started feeling better about 2 weeks ago, almost a week and a half ago. Still coughing, still have not much of a voice to talk and record, which is a pain, but trying to catch that up. But I got a temporary job, a 2-week contract, working in a warehouse. Now, you can go back in the archives on the audio podcast. I recorded one saying you do whatever it takes, because you need to do whatever it takes to take care of your family. So I got a temporary position, 2-week position, and actually it was rough. I was freaked out because when I got COVID, I worked my 1 day in that 2-week position, and I got COVID and couldn't go back. So I got 1 day of a 2-week position. Actually went back the last day of the 2-week contract. Good news is, apparently they liked my work on that 1 day I was there, and they extended the contract another 2 weeks. And if you notice right around here, I'm trying to use a green screen. I don't have it quite tight enough or something, and now it looks like I'm starting to hulk out a little bit. So No, I'm not angry, and I'm not trying to Hulk out here. Just it is what it is. For those on the audio portion listening to this, um, if you go to the YouTube channel, go to our YouTube channel, O'Connor Bootstrap podcast videocast YouTube channel, you'll see that on my neck as I'm talking, the way the lighting is here or whatever, that every time I turn my head, it looks like my neck's turning green. I'm not hulking out, I promise. Anyway, back on track. Today's a little bit rambly because just kind of giving an update what's going on, where I've been. So they extended my 2-week contract, which means as soon as I was better, I've been working early morning, getting home a little bit later in the afternoon, but I'm coming home right in time for my kids to come home, making it really hard for me to catch up on recording because by the time we get the kids to bed, I have to go to bed and go to work the next morning. That's kind of where I've been. Now, I did have a weekend to record, but good news is COVID restrictions have been lifted, and all of a sudden, party. I had a huge event on that I had to prep for on Saturday, huge event on Sunday, 8 hours of work. And the cool thing is, when you run your own business, if you do it right, you can make pretty good profit. I worked my butt off on Sunday, and for the day's hours of work, I worked about 8 hours. I took home around $900 US after my expenses were done. So not bad for a little bit more than 8 hours work. Actually, if you counted the time I took to prep and everything else, it's probably more like 12 hours of work, but still $900 for 12 hours of work. It's not too bad. Now, if I could only get that every day, I would be able to have a crew of full employees, hire an accountant, all this good stuff. Because you know what? Quite honestly, my accountant, I really want to fire him. He's probably one of the worst accountants on the planet. Matter of fact, in 2020 or 2020 last 2020? Yeah. He messed things up so much we had to completely just pretty much delete my accounting program and reset it and put in 2 years of transactions one at a time all the way through to get it back on track to fix it. Problem is, this accountant comes really cheap, and I can't afford to fire him. And that accountant that's so bad with the whole accounting thing is me. So I'm kind of stuck. So hopefully, prayerfully, I'll be able to build up my business again as people are being excited and coming up, and we're able to start getting things running again with the business. So I'm very excited about that. Now, another thing that happened, which is business related, is I did a cold call and I walked into a car dealership here and gave them my card. About a week later, COVID restrictions hit and the entire planet got shut down for the next 2 years. COVID restrictions lifted. I got a phone call. Hey, by the way, do you remember me? You gave me your business card. We need balloons. So working on that deal as we speak, or not in a second, obviously, but still working a deal to get a major car company balloons for the big events. That's a huge thing. I got another event come in, another company I worked with, got them good deals. They gave me good deals. They got me a new client that loves balloons. So my business is starting to come back like crazy, and it's really exciting and fun. And we're finally catching up on some bills here, which is really nice. So I've had a lot going on. A new got a new got new clients. I've got another event company I'm working with that they were also about to launch. They're planning to launch in March of 2020. Obviously, that did not happen, so they're getting ready to launch again, and I was in on the ground level back then. I'm still in and part of this company, so hopefully that will bring up business. So all these good things are building business. Now, what lesson can I take from this? And real quick here, I'm going to change one setting here and see if I can get rid of the Hulk. Sorry, guys. The whole video thing is a new Let's see if that helps. Yeah, it kind of helps. Now there's a thing, camera thing there. Okay. Hey, that's better. So, thank you for bearing with me as I step by step progresses. My videos will get better and better and better as I figure out better editing, better equipment, a better green screen, all that good stuff. So, we'll get there. Anyway, so what can we learn? Well, I think the biggest thing is your foundations and I guess I'll call this sowing and reaping. I think that's the best talking about this because the business I'm getting now is not business I'm actively. Hold on a second. So, okay. Anyway, for the audio, sorry guys, do bear with me. This is gonna be a little bit of a rough one. I forgot to mute my outro, which I have on my audio track, which I record separately. And all of a sudden, if you're listening to the audio podcast, you'll hear the end of the podcast kick in, all of a sudden disappear. Sorry about that. I'm just going to leave it in this time because I don't have the energy to edit it quite yet. I'm not 100% yet. Tired. Sorry. We're going to figure this out. I'm going to figure this all out. Anyway, so this is just a podcast of me being real. It's been rough. Just trying to get something going back in before I can get back into the whole very professional, planned out podcast, which I like to do. But sowing and reaping, we're going to call this sowing and reaping because in 2020, early 2020, I walked out and I handed out a business card. 2 years later, I got a response. I've handed out business cards 2, 3 years, 4 years ago. Got a response. Now I don't have a lot of responses from business cards. That's a whole nother thing to talk about in and of itself. Nowadays, I just have people take a picture of my kind of business card. I have made a sticker that has my logo on it, my contact information, my Facebook page, my website, phone number, and I have that sticker on like my phone. I just show them pictures, help them save it onto their Facebook page, like my Facebook page. I just give them directly to the main thing, and then they don't lose it, which is good. But also the big event I did, the store opening, is because I reached out to another balloon company and I built a relationship with them, and now they're bringing me customers. I sewed in my time and effort, energy to help these guys out. I called them about balloons, I looked for them, and then I talked to them, and I built a relationship. And then now, months later, we have had no contact. They're bringing me business. Some other people, they go up and they Googled me. They found me right away. They called me, contacted me for the big event, and now they're super happy with me because of that event. And how do you get Google? You have to sow to get up on top on Google. Because I'm finally getting good SEO. I'm finally getting people finding me. They're finding my Facebook page. All the work I've been putting into for years is starting to pay off. So to just encourage you, if you're a small business owner, especially you're starting up, you've just been working hard, and not finding any breakthroughs. Maybe it's just your sowing. Maybe eventually, after time and hard work, it's like when you plant seeds. Right now, I've planted. Business is not a seed that germinates overnight. It's like when you plant seed, you have to wait for some water to hit it. You have to wait for it to pick up some sun before you can start even seeing a sprout. Sorry. Before you start seeing anything. And some seeds take longer than others. For example, I've got 2 boys, and to make them excited this year, I decided to take 2 avocado seeds and stick toothpicks in them and sit them in water in the window. And avocado seeds take a very, very, very long time to germinate. It takes like a month and a half or so just for it to start to kind of little bitty split open, just a little bit, just so you can see that something's actually going on. And it takes something like 100 days or something before you even get a decent sized plant that you can actually put into a pot, let alone growing avocados or anything else, in which I doubt we'll get actual avocados from this plant because we're in Norway, not exactly the warm tropical area that avocados grow in, like Southern California, Mexico, Israel, anywhere in that area is where avocados grow. But anyway, that's besides the point. Point being is, business is something, sometimes you do things, you plant things, you work really, really hard, you plant a lot of seeds, and sometimes these seeds can stay dormant for months and months and months and years, and all of a sudden, it starts all growing back really, really quickly. Now, with me, my business, it's been boosted because everyone's been sitting back going, when can I party? When can I party? I can't party, I can't party, I can't party. For 2 years, pretty much no parties, no weddings, no kids' birthday parties, no big events, no community. Now they're going, party! We need balloons. So all that work is starting to pay off. Now, I've honestly not been putting very much effort or energy into sales or marketing this last month. I've been sick. I've been working. I've been trying to find other jobs because there's been COVID restrictions. Locked down really, really hard. The restrictions went up. I immediately started getting clients. Immediately started getting business. Because of the things I sowed in 2020 are now growing to a point where I'm gathering in the harvest from my work I did before. Now, when you sow things and you're starting to reap things, don't stop sowing more seed. Don't stop watering the ground. Don't stop getting rid of weeds in your thing. Don't stop. Because you stop, eventually you're going to get all the harvest, and then you'll eat it all, and they'll be gone, and then you'll be the ants and the grasshopper. Grasshopper will enjoy all the food in the spring and summer, and then starve in the fall and winter. You always got to keep things going. You always got to keep it rolling. But don't give up. You never know when that business card, that conversation about your product with an important person will come back and say, hey, by the way, I'm now ready to buy your product, and you'll be ready to take care of them. Anyway, with that, starting to lose my voice again. You guys have a great time, great day. I will see you soon. Hopefully, I'll be able to get another recording up on time next Friday. That's going to go up just as soon as I can get it up. It might be today, which is Wednesday. I might upload it in a couple of days. We'll see what I'm up for. Anyway, guys, talk to you later. Bye-bye. If you have found value in this content, please leave a comment and give us a 5-star rating on whichever podcast platform you use. We're on Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and most other podcast platforms. We also have a blog, the Bootstrap blog, and Bootstrap YouTube videocast. Please check in the description for links to those. And if you'd like to support us, you can also donate at buymeacoffee.com/bootstrap, or you can send us money on PayPal, which is again in the link below. And if you would like to interact with me and other leaders, you can just come over to our Bootstrap Podcast Facebook group. We've got a few people there. You can come hang out with us. And you have been listening to the O'Connor Bootstrap podcast, which is an Atheoz Business Solutions podcast. For our companion podcast, the Atheoz Business podcast, hosted by Jason St. Clair, past episodes and related blogs, check out our website at www.atheoz.com, which is www.atheoz.com or theoz.com. Thank you and goodbye.